It was an amazing evening. It's been an amazing 2-year period.
Donald Trump has won the White House, and the tech community here in Lisbon for the Web Summit is shell-shocked. Few, if any, saw this result coming. Most backed Hillary Clinton, who they were sure would win. The pollsters, the data, and most importantly the algorithms, which are supposed to see everything coming, said it would be so. So how did they get it so wrong? And how did a sector known for its obsession with disruption fail to see that their revolution wasn't working out for everyone?
Pretty much everyone I spoke to here before the election was confident that Hillary would win. Not only that, when drawn on the topic of those being disrupted by tech, they didn't really want to acknowledge the problem. Now that Trump has won, however, some people are beginning to change their tune and admitting there might be an echo chamber issue.
We seem to be out of touch with the reality of the silent majority who are in anger, and we seem to be living in an echo chamber where we are not in touch with the reality of the people. So we have to live with that choice, but it's now a question of, okay, how do we become more inclusive and then really know what is happening out there? Because we seem to be in a situation where we are trying to say, okay, so here's the tech world, here's the, we think that is right, but that's probably not the case.
Nobody wanted to admit they were going to vote for him. And then, that's why the polls were so far off. And then all of a sudden I saw this feed in my social feed, and all these people who'd been silent for months, who I assume maybe they were sitting out the election, came out and say, yeah, make America great again. And I thought, wow, the silent unspoken undercurrent of America stepped up after the polls and said, yep, we're going to vote for this guy. It's bad data in, bad data out. So if the polls are wrong and you're using the polls as input for the algorithm to predict the state results in the elections, then I think it's just going to be the predictions were just way off that way.
As ever with the tech community, however, the inclination is to look beyond the human issues and to seek out solutions to any immediate challenges. Eternal optimists by nature, they're now turning to whatever positives they can identify.
Looking for any good news, probably the one thing would be he is an entrepreneur, he's a business guy. So theoretically that should be good for business, but I think it'll take some time to figure out whether that's indeed the case.
I'm an optimist, and I don't think one person's going to make or break the country. I'm optimistic about the people of America. It's a phenomenal country, great people. Things are going to be fine. Business is going to, continue to thrive and move forward.
Trump is an entrepreneur, so there's definitely some points that he can bring on in terms of building up the business back up in America.
I think regardless of who is president of the United States or regardless of what happens with Europe, the sector is going to remain strong, and I don't think there's any other sector that can adapt as quickly as ours does.
I'm really worried, to be quite honest, for the way the world's heading. But a part of me is a little torn because it's actually been very good for the currency business. And what we're seeing is already today double the volumes we'd have on a normal day. Just looking into the data now to find out it is US dollars, but exactly which direction it's trending in. But it's causing more activity.
In Silicon Valley, where failure is celebrated rather than commiserated, it's worth asking whether it's the attitude that says it's okay to move fast and break things, worrying about the consequences later, that's a key part of the problem. Izabella Kaminska, Financial Times, Lisbon.